Welcome to the Empowered Soul Podcast, a cozy audio nest of soulful musings and heart-made creations. If you're a mystical soul craving connection and inspiration, you've found your flock. Hi, I am MC Mama Bird, a mama, artist, soul regression therapist in training, and longtime yoga and meditation guide, sharing stories, conversations, and everyday magic for your soul and your family. Now take a deep breath and stretch your wings wide to enjoy the ride. Welcome back, beautiful souls. It is late April, and there is still fresh snow on the ground. The winter is really trying to still hold on. And I feel so grateful for this moisture, for what it will give us in the coming months. And at the same time, I feel how quickly life is moving. It feels like I blinked on January 1st, and boom, now we are already here, almost midway through the year. Can you feel that too? And in a very different way, that's also how grief has felt for me. And I want to share something truthfully here. This episode is deeply personal. The month of May holds Mother's Day, and also it's my mom's birthday month. So I started to think about something special that I could create for her and for all of us who have spirit family in heaven. So this episode is coming as an offering for her, and also to honor all our mothers in heaven, our loved ones, our full spirit family, and the love that continues beyond this life. I began preparing this episode months ago, adding to it a little at a time, weaving it together with extra tender care. And as it unfolded, it became something bigger than I originally imagined. So I've allowed it to open into two parts. In this first part, I'll be sharing my own journey, my experience with grief, my connection with my mom, and my spirit family. I also gently open the conversation to things like signs and experiences our loved ones leave behind to touch our hearts and remind us that they are still with us, by our side. The reflections and the ways I've been learning to stay connected through intuition as a form of communication. Past lives and soul contracts as tidbits downloaded from my soul regression studies, along with wise words and practices from healers, doctors, and clairvoyants who work closely with the soul so that we can have a form of support along the grief journey. I know not everyone relates to this in the same way. So know, as always, you are invited to take only what resonates with your own heart and soul. So I'm starting here, not just because this is my story, but because it helps prepare the ground. It creates a shared space, a deeper understanding, a backdrop for what we will move into next. In part 2, I'll be sharing stories from beautiful souls in our community, their heart experiences, their signs, their ways of staying connected, so that we can feel that sense of togetherness and remember that none of us are walking this path alone. And in that second part, I'll also bring everything together with a closing reflection, and I'll share some gentle ways to support yourself through grief and resources that have helped me along the way, and a very special offering from my heart. So for now, let's begin here. Let's open our arms to receive the blessings that come through from our spirit family. All that is needed is an open mind and heart. The rest will flow beautifully, as the divine always knows best how to orchestrate it all. You are safe here. You can trust your heart here. You can soften into the journey and the sacred flow. Remember that we are always protected, guided, and directed by our higher selves and our spirit and divine realms team. So let's take a big breath in together, relaxing the shoulders, and exhale as we bring our hearts and minds together as one. My mom transitioned from her earthly human experience into her full soul expression on September 6, 2024. And it doesn't feel that long ago. I would video call her and put my son on, and she would watch me change diapers, laugh as I tried to get him dressed, and he was just zipping up and down the room. Together, we would teach him Spanish words. My mom rejoiced in every moment she spent with him, watching him grow day by day. We were on the phone as much as we could from the days after he was born. And even now, I still hear her. I hear her in the kitchen when I'm cooking. I hear her in my thoughts when I need guidance, and I feel her presence in the quiet moments. And at times, she has also made her presence strongly felt when I was navigating some of my hardest grief moments and decisions. I still have a raw and tender heart, but I feel just a little more stable these days. I still cry, just not every hour or every day, but maybe every other day or a few times a week. Especially at night, before I go to bed, when I sit at one of my little altars in the house and talk to them. Or in those moments when I'm moving through doubts, questions, when I'm seeking clarity or an answer. I ask my mom to help me see, to help me reveal the meaning behind things. And when I can truly soften and surrender and trust into it all, I hear her and I know it is her. And I no longer need to second guess that. But this has taken me time. It was not instant after her transition. Her heavenly advice pours in like tea on my empty cup. Her support gently showing me the way, helping me connect the dots so that one more layer is peeled off and I can be more free and breathe more fully. And I've even come to feel that our relationship now is smoother, softer, sweeter, more mature and grounded, and it mutually beneficial and uplifting. Because in heaven, her perspective feels wider, higher, beyond the constraints of our human experience and culture. I feel that she finally understands me more now, that she accepts me more fully, and even that she truly sees me, that she honors what I study, what I share, and supports me in it. It is a new era of consciousness, and she wants to be part of it through my work and my offerings. Perhaps she just couldn't incarnate into that. Too many bonding beliefs. I do not sincerely know, except that I feel the shift between us. And I actually think she likes it and enjoys it, because she herself had a metaphysical side to her personality. You see, my mom and I did not always have a smooth relationship, but it was passionate and intense and, well, sometimes rocky. But one thing is for sure, we loved each other deeply. And she was devoted to her family and her kids. And she was always there, a boulder to count on. I was her firstborn. She was my first love. She raised me amidst adversity and difficulty as a single mom in a very conservative Catholic religious country in the 1970s. My mom was clearly ahead of her time. She loved the Beatles, foreign singers and artists, the Bee Gees. She loved authentic people, fearless people, and she loved travel and romance. One thing my mom was very good at was falling in love and cooking. Through my work in soul studies, I have gleaned a lot. I think my role was to stretch her to the edges of her perception. Sometimes it worked. Oftentimes it didn't. Then again, most of the time, it didn't work with anybody. Living in a very conservative culture back then, I found myself longing to travel, to live abroad, to discover who I truly was with amplified, unconstrained freedom. Because at home, the edges were too close and often came with too many rules. And I also want to share that when I speak of family and spirit family in heaven, I include not only our human loved ones, but also our animal companions. Because for me, they are part of our soul family too, as teachers and helpers, heart openers, and often as important guides. Especially in moments of emotional depth, or when we are in need of unconditional love and comfort, they love us unconditionally, showing us innocence, authenticity, spontaneity, loving us through our mistakes and shadows. They walk with us. And in my experience, they continue to connect with us because they too have a soul and purpose, not just here, but over there too. I truly feel they offer a beautiful service to humanity. In their presence, they lighten our load. They soften the noise of the mind. They bring us back to the heart. And in their own special way, they too are in service to something greater, to the divine and to love. I have a small corner in my office, a space just for my girls in heaven. My mom, my grandma, my pixie baby, and others in my sweet extended family that includes other special souls whom I love deeply and are just as important to me. I honor them as part of my incarnate family teachers and as some of the greatest beacons of light and awakeners. There are pictures, crystals, feathers, fairies, tarot cards, their belongings, candles, and little sacred objects that help me reconnect with them. I share my dreams there, my projects, my visions, my mandala, and this way they can bless them and they can see what I'm creating in their honor. Because so much of what I do now is because of them and for them. They've inspired me to go deeper into this soul journey. And most often, grief brings some of our deepest insights, our biggest awakenings, even unexpected blessings. Grief is a portal and an awakening journey with no destination. It's just an opening that gets wider with time, and slowly it goes. Have you ever noticed that too? Those moments of light woven into the weight of the pain? From heart opening, and so much that it actually hurts, to a clearer, more grounded way of living, to studying the soul in order to learn how to communicate with them. These have been some of the most meaningful gifts my spirit family has given me. They've guided me to create this podcast, to write them songs, and to be here sharing this episode with you today. A part of this journey for me has also been a desire to leave no stone unturned, to clean my side of the road, to live with integrity and transparency, to be very clear, crystal clear with my intentions, to develop my virtues and live by my values, to be a good person on the deathbed, thinking clean, godly thoughts, not leaving a lot of regrets, to meet my own life with honesty and care, with my mind, body, spirit, living in congruence and harmony, so that one day, when it is my time to cross over, I can stand with a sense of dignity and peace before my divine team, with clarity in my heart. And in my own way, to move towards that deeper awareness, what some call diamond consciousness, a perspective that sees beyond duality, that accepts, that surrenders, that holds compassion for all of it with unwavering truth, so that when that time comes, I can pass through that threshold that some call walking through the eye of the needle, with nothing held back, only an open-hearted and open arms surrender of joy and awe to the unspeakable beauty of heaven. I saved these words from Alison Dubois' books, and it goes like this: people who live well ultimately die well too. They leave people who know how strong the love exchange is and that it remains. When you take the time to show others that they matter to you and you live life large, you become a person who others learn from. Others then look at their own life and remember to make it count. This is not to say you have to live a flawless life. You never know when the next funeral will be your own. Put the ego aside and ask for forgiveness. Usually, all it takes is, "I'm sorry." When you love somebody, spend your life wisely. Do it right. Learn your lessons in life. Love while you're here. Swallow your pride. Love yourself enough to allow others entry to love you too. It feels fair to say that grief can be an awakening and at times a jolting journey. There's often an initial roller coaster, especially when a loved one is struggling with their health, and every transition is different. There's no way to fully anticipate how we will feel when the crossing actually happens. And then it hits like a ton of bricks on the heart, or like a tornado that reshapes your whole life and your understanding of it. And there is no timeline for it either, as how to pick up your little pieces one after the other to reshape your new life again. There's no clear beginning and no defined end, and no way to predict when certain waves will come or how they will move through you. I used to say, I can never live without you. And then grief shows you how. And then soul teaches you how you aren't without each other anyway. This body casting over the soul has transformed, but that soul essence is still by your side. There are also what some call grief ambushes. Those moments when unexpectedly the big emotions arise and grief simply takes over. And in those moments, it's important to allow space, to pause, to breathe, to feel the ache, to feel it all, without attaching any logic or explanation, because we feel this way only because we have loved so deeply. Grief is the other side of love, and some people call it the price of loving. But I also feel it is the continuation of it with another shade and texture you have never experienced before. With time, grief has invited me to face my own life more honestly, to reflect on my choices, on my mistakes, on what my deepest regrets have come to teach me. It's guided me to go deeper, to meet my life and those of others with more compassion, and to do my best to leave as little unresolved as I can. My soul has said to me, have crystal clear intentions, be congruous, and be vigilant about staying clean in body, mind, and spirit. Intentions that require me to really slow it down, be more minimalistic, and be truly honest with myself, even when it hurts or your ego gets hot and bothered. This human experience is not for the faint of heart. And yet, it is what we chose to do, to grow. And there is so much preparation within us that allows us to walk through it. We didn't just come down here. We prepared, and for a long time too. We've had teachers and guides, protectors, in order to be fit to do this, some more than others. I often think of this human incarnation like a quilt, stitched together from all of our experiences. Some pieces are worn, ragged, marked by deep challenge. Others are vibrant, filled with joy, love, and new beginnings and birth. But the quilt would not be whole if it were all one texture or all one color. It's the contrast, the fullness, the entire tapestry. It's the whole thing that shapes who we are and what we carry forward in our soul's evolution. And maybe this quilt we're creating can become something more, a blanket of warmth, of hope, not only for ourselves, but for others too. Because even from the rubble, even from the ruins, there are always small shoots of life beginning to grow again. And so many times, it's the hardest moments that crack our hearts open, that slow us down to dive deeper within and bring us back to what truly matters for each of us. Moments that invite us to feel life more fully, not getting stuck in the duality and living in black and white, but in all its depth and technicolor, the whole humanness, which is what we truly came down here for anyway, so that our soul purposes could fulfill us in our soul evolution, and possibly along the way assisting others too in their soul evolution by uplifting the vibration in earth and for humanity, oftentimes simply by being, radiating like a luminous being that we are. In my soul regression studies, it's often shared that the soul is always evolving, always expanding in wisdom and frequency, and that the divine realms aren't perfect. They too are evolving and growing and learning. And all that knowledge and wisdom is never lost life after life. It is archived as a repository in our higher soul self in the divine realms. So this makes our human experiences and life after life actually very special and very meaningful for the growth of the soul and its responsibilities in the divine realms too. We have responsibilities here through our soul contracts, and we have them up there. Our soul is always working and integrating and interacting with its divine purposes and teams. And there are teachings through soul contracts for our soul purpose, of lessons we have come here to move through as karma cleanup, and sometimes to heal or make things right within ourselves as we build our own dharma. And as we do that, as we grow, as we mature and soften and learn, we learn too to love more deeply. We naturally begin to offer that love outward. One doesn't even need to try. It just happens naturally as an overflow from our heart. And we love unto others in the ways we may have once needed ourselves. We begin to care for others, to support, to even do all of this from our divine services and callings. And in that way, we continue to lift one another. There's also this sense that we are all deeply interconnected, that life and nothing in it is separate. And while we are connected to all, it is possible that for some of us, there are certain souls we feel especially close to. Our parents, our children, our family, by blood or by heart. It can feel that we came here to learn and grow together, to walk alongside one another through these human experiences that can sometimes rock our worlds. And those bonds, they don't simply disappear. They become part of us, part of the story, transformed into the wisdom we carry, life to life to life. And between lives, as our soul stays in the soul, in the divine realms, in between incarnations. Some might call this a soul family, or a soul group, or a soul pod. Those we return to in the divine realms after this incarnate experience, across the veil in the vastness of eternity. And from this perspective, that connection continues. We are soul entangled, not always in ways we can see or explain, but in ways we can feel. Sometimes as guidance, sometimes as protection, and sometimes simply as pure love, walking beside us as we move through this life, because their heaven is not complete without us. They linger nearby to help us like invisible hands that hold our hearts up. I feel their presences often when I call on them, when I speak to them, when I cry in those difficult moments. I include them in my life, not just sometimes, but every day, and oftentimes, many times throughout the day. I'll say, "Okay, Mom. Okay, Toya, Babu, my little ones. Come with me. Let's go together. Let's take this trip together and see it through my eyes." And there's a part of me that trusts that one day, when we are all together again in the same expression in heaven, I'll know that they were there too, that they saw what I saw, felt what I felt, shared in those moments with me. Because I made a promise to my mom that she would always be part of our lives, and that my son would grow to know who she is. And I want to offer a gentle little intention here, something that has helped me feel closer to them, and it goes like this. My spirit family in heaven, I invite you into my everyday life. Travel with me, protect me, and grow with me. There is no distance between us. May I open to perceive and to receive your signs and messages. Amen. There are also parts of grief that are harder to speak about, like guilt. And for example, my mom and I never had the chance to embrace physically before her transition, and that has weighed on me. In fact, the last time we had been together was 5 years before she passed. Life and the big changes of 2020 really caught up with us. I was only hoping that she could have waited a little longer for my son to be older so that we could travel down to meet her. When my son was born, I didn't feel comfortable traveling with my son, so young, to the tropics. There were real health concerns back then, and I made the best decision I could at the time. And still, grief can bring those questions and doubts forward. And I want to say this from the heart for anyone listening. These feelings are part of the human experience of grief. They don't mean we're doing anything wrong. They simply show where your love still lives and where we sometimes cling in order to feel a little sense of control. These are the places where it is still so strong, so present, and sometimes so hard to soften around. And in those moments, we can find ourselves holding on too tightly to memories, to feelings, to anything that keeps that connection close and feeling alive. Sometimes it can even feel like a way to hold on to control in a situation that felt completely out of our hands. We reach for answers, for stories, for reasons, sometimes even for someone or something to blame. And yet in truth, every soul is on its own journey. And it knows when its time is to depart. A path with meaning and purpose that often goes far beyond what we can understand or control. We can gain insight and understanding through various therapies and modalities like soul regression, or even by paying close attention to our dreams and those whispers from the soul. And when we begin to soften into that, when we allow ourselves to trust, even just a little, and to feel their words and that they are still with us, oftentimes teaching us and showing us signs and the way to move forward, then something begins to shift. We can start to let go gently, little by little, moving towards healing and finding a sense of peace within, and knowing truly that they themselves are also at peace with the whole experience and how everything went down. Because love doesn't just disappear. Love is forever. Now I want to talk about some of the signs I have received and share a few of my family stories that honor these special souls. And one of my biggest life heroes is my grandma Toya. And Toya was a mother, a daughter, a grandma, a great-grandmother to many souls. She was a devoted Catholic, a great friend, and a teacher to many in our town in Honduras. She taught people how to read and write, and in many ways, she helped shape the very fabric of that community. She was an avid cook and baker, and she would always make us all her famous classic birthday cake. And her gifts, they were unforgettable. She would give the most interesting and fun birthday presents, always placed inside a reused shoebox. And inside, you could find anything from chocolates to toothpaste to underwear, all the fun and all the basics one needs in life. Her favorite chocolate was the Milky Way. And back then, those were considered super fancy to gift and expensive, a true luxury. My grandma would walk everywhere. I think she got her license later in life, somewhere around when she was in her 60s. She was well known and deeply loved in our town. In fact, when writing to her, all you had to do was put her name on an envelope, along with the name of the city and the country, no address needed, and the postman would deliver it to her. Probably one of the very students she had once taught how to read and write in public school. My grandma was truly exemplary. She would visit prisons, bringing the prisoners food and prayer. She held a women's Christian group in her home, where they would gather and bathe in the teachings of the Bible and share time together over her cake and potluck offerings. My grandma taught me how to pray, I would often go with her to Sunday church and during the holidays. So she baked, she cooked, she cleaned, she sewed her family's clothes, crocheted, and knitted. Everything from large bed quilts to garments. She birthed 7 children, and some of them at home or on her own. One of those 7 kiddos passed shortly after being born. I remember her speaking fondly of her beautiful little daughter, Ana Maria. And yet my grandma never exhibited deep pain, or visible grief, or tears, or even extreme joy. She was simply a very even-keeled woman. And here's the main story, and one of the things I admire most about her. And it's what happened in 1953. Her husband, my grandpa, died in a car accident. The Jeep tumbled over a dirt road with all of them in it. My grandma, my grandpa, and their 6 kids. My grandma never remarried at the age of 35. She raised those children all by herself. The oldest was around 13 and the youngest just 2. That is truly remarkable. I just don't have words to fully match that strength and that tenacity. She was a landowner. She worked for the municipality. She taught in public schools, and at the same time, she raised all of those children while baking, cooking, cleaning. How in the world did she do this? At home, we often tell stories about her courage and her strength, and I'll be honest, I don't think I could survive even a single day in that life. But my grandma was amazing, and she still is. And I truly believe a lot of her tenacity was passed down from the wisdom and skills of my great-grandma Malocha. In this moment, I honor these women and all the ones that came before them. Thank you for your courage and your beautiful, hard-working hearts. And you are not forgotten. My grandma visits me in dreams. I don't have a specific sign for her, not in the way people often speak about signs. But she comes in that quiet, subtle way, through dreams. My grandma transitioned in 2004 on one of the holiest days for Christians, Christmas Day. And what's so striking is that in the days leading up to her passing, she kept saying, the 24th. I think she just knew. At the time, I wasn't as attuned to death or to transitions. My focus as a young adult was more on expansion, traveling, on life unfolding outward. I hadn't yet reached that level of maturity or depth or finesse with these kinds of experiences. But now, with my mother's transition, something in me has opened, a deeper layer of the heart. And through that opening, I find myself greeting my grandma more authentically, more fully. It's as if the heart, once opened in one place, begins to illuminate everything else. So while I don't have a specific sign from her, she does come in dreams. And often, I dream of our old home, the way it was when I was little. That house still feels like a repository for all of our lives. It was the home my grandpa gifted to her in the 40s, and it is where we all lived, where so much of us still lives. And when I dream of that house, I know it's my grandma visiting. My grandpa Chus, through my dad's side, was someone I only met very briefly as an infant. But from what I've come to feel, He carries a deep care for my growth here on earth, and I sense that he's one of my helpers. In a recent experience during the holidays, I could feel his support, almost as if he was helping me clear and understand my karma more deeply. I don't have a specific sign for him either, but I do know this. His presence feels more alive now than it has ever been. Spirit can read our feelings, our thoughts. They know our struggles and our pain. And now I feel like I can tune into him more, to sense that quiet support, that steady presence, helping me strengthen myself to live a life rooted in clarity. And all our ancestors have a special nook in the house, from great-grandparents all the way to my mom and Pixie. They are all exhibited as pictures on our altar so that we can talk to them, live with them along. And then there is my mom. Part of me was in denial about her imminent crossing. I just couldn't. I just didn't know how to process what was happening with her health. I had just given birth, and it was so much to hold in that postpartum space. Life beginning and another one transitioning all at once. But once we knew that her transition was close, I broke open. I lost it in tears, in despair. I felt the most helpless I had ever felt in my life. Holding my baby and knowing I just couldn't get on a plane to be by her side. So every evening we would go on walks, and I began to notice things. Things were shifting and moving differently. Feathers, coins that almost as if they were appearing and then slipping out of my wallet without explanation. And the sunsets, they felt so fragile, so tender, like each one could be the last before everything changed. I lived in that space of waiting, of knowing the call would come, and not knowing when, until it did. And in that moment, my whole life changed in a second. Because a minute can feel so long when you realize that's all it takes. It's one single second for someone to take their last breath. To say I was in shock is an understatement. For days and days, I cried puddles. I immediately gravitated towards soul studies, wanting to understand where she went. And this is something I will share more about in another episode, or perhaps in the book. But what I can say is this: embracing my mom's transition has been one of the greatest teachings of my life. And I can see 1000% that she is one of the reasons why I'm here, where I am today, talking to you, in my work, in my studies, in my path. The day after my mom transitioned, we went for a walk to the city park. And as soon as I crossed the street to enter the park, I saw the most bright, white, radiant dove I had ever seen in my life. It was almost blinding, like a flash of white light. And in that moment, I knew that was my sign. She was well, surrounded by peace, by love, and held in heaven's arms. That same night, my family experienced something too. They saw white butterflies inside a garage at night. And butterflies don't fly at night. She speaks to my siblings through butterflies, and to me, she uses doves. And there have been so many signs with doves that I have already filled journals documenting them. Birds, doves, songs, numbers, ideas, and so much more. There are many stories, so many more. But for now, I'll leave it at that. And then 2 months after my mom transitioned, Pixie, my heart dog, started to show signs of physical challenge. And this story still tears at my heart. And at times, I just can't fully talk about it. It just breaks me, especially when guilt arises. That feeling that I could have and should have done more, that I should have known. See, this is where guilt can really tear at us. The night we received her diagnosis, I just knew. I knew her time was coming in hours. And in my confusion and in my despair, I sat on the couch crying, holding my baby. Layer upon layer of grief compounding. First my mom, and now this. I swear, my little security blanket was gone. And in that moment, a picture of my mom and I, from when I was a little girl, flew off the altar, even pushing a candle off with it. I know my mom didn't want to scare me, but something like that had never happened before. The only thing I could think of was that just before that, my husband had closed the door several feet away, but he didn't do it forcefully. It didn't feel like something that could have caused that kind of movement. I mean, maybe there was some kind of air current, a shift in the room. But even then, it didn't feel strong enough to move two objects off the altar. Perhaps that current assisted. But what I feel and what I believe is that spirit is magnetic, alive, quantum, often invisible to the human eye, but carrying a kind of energetic strength we don't fully understand. Not in the way we move or move things, but through something else. Through love, through intention, through presence. I have no idea, nor I claim to know exactly how this works, but I felt something. And then, when Pixie crossed, she was in my arms. I held her. I spoke softly into her ear, and I lullabied her into her eternal leap. And as soon as her body was taken to the crematory, right outside our door, just a few feet away, maybe 15, there was a wild rabbit. And Pixie loved chasing rabbits. It was one of her nicknames. And that rabbit did not move for at least 2 or 3 hours. To me, that was her sign. A quiet validation that she was still with us and that she made it okay. From my arms to my mom's. And to this day, I have endless records, endless moments of validation through rabbits, numbers, dollar bills, stories that continue to affirm to me that my girls in heaven are still with us. When you arrive at that level of deep inner trust and knowing, proving and proof are no longer part of your consciousness. It shifts from, I will believe it when I see it, to, I believe, and then I see. There are so many other souls I love in heaven, and so many stories and sacred moments. And all of that, along with my soul studies, has been gently guiding me towards writing a book. I know in divine time it will come, and that it will give me the spaciousness to truly pour it all out. But until then, I want to invite you to pay attention to your dreams, because sometimes you may wake up feeling like you just spent time with them. And there's a softness in your body and a quiet smile that returns, as if something within you remembers, and a sweet warmth in your heart that you want to last forever. And that is what many healers call a visit. Now, not all dreams will feel that way. Some dreams may be more intense, tender, scary, or sad. And those are not necessarily visits. They can be part of your own deep inner healing. Your subconscious gently working through grief, through trauma, through layers that are ready to be seen and integrated. And as you begin to pay attention to your dreams, you will start to discern. You will start to learn their language, their purpose, their meaning, and the messages that are uniquely for you. One of the most beautiful teachings I've received from clairvoyants and healers is this: if you desire to connect more deeply and to feel their presence and receive more signs, it can be helpful to give yourself time. First, time to grieve, to heal. For some, this may take months, for others years, and that's okay. There is no rush in love, but once you begin to feel a little more stable, a little more grounded, there is a gentle practice you can try. Begin by clearing your mind, letting go, even just for a moment, of the worries, the guilt, the sadness. Take a few slow, deep breaths, and allowing your body to soften and to arrive to the moment. Then bring to mind the most beautiful memories you shared with them. Moments of joy and laughter. Maybe a time you went out for ice cream together, or when they baked something for you. Let those memories fill your heart. Then you can look at a photo of them, perhaps from a time when they were younger, healthy, beautiful, and radiant. Look into their eyes and gently, lovingly ask for a visit. And you can say something like, I am ready. I am ready for a visit. And then softly lay yourself to sleep and trust and let go. It may or it may not happen right away. It may take time, but you can practice and stay open and stay gentle with yourself. And keep trusting. I often ask my girls for a visit, especially when I feel like I really need them, when I need to fill my cup again with their love. There was a time my mom came to me in a dream, and she began to describe heaven. I wish I could remember more of what she said, but one thing has stayed with me so vividly. And she said, "The light is so bright here. It is blinding." And in that moment, I knew she was close to Source. And Pixie, she came shortly after her transition, in a dream that to this day brings warmth to my heart. She was behind a gate, young again, strong. She was maybe around 2 years old. And then she broke through the gate. And she was running towards me, fast with strength and desperation, and in a joyful hurry, like pooches do when you come home. And she saw me, and rushed straight to me, licking my face and placing her big paws on me, so full of life and so full of love. And I woke up feeling the happiest, the most content, and so deeply grateful. And when I think about how big my pain has been around all of my soul family in heaven, a few things come to me. Pixie was a little piece of my life and my heart that went to live beside my mom in heaven, keeping her company and carrying a part of me with her and for her, so that my mom could feel closer and more bonded with us down here. And through the love we all shared, it feels like Pixie flew out of my arms and into hers. And I know that if my mom hadn't been there, I would have felt so much more fear and anxiety. But knowing that my mom was there in heaven, waiting for her, knowing she understood how deeply I loved Pixie, that she would hold her within that same love, it brought me a sense of peace and quiet reassurance. The universe is vast, complex, and mysterious. The ethers or the vacuum is made up of plasma liquid gas, a living field that can be the cradle of forms of life far beyond our wildest imagination. Some of those forms are simply invisible to our narrow bandwidth of sight. Souls are light, energy, and vibratory. They are the source that animates our physical bodies. No soul, no life. And just as we cannot see God as a formed being, we come to know God through love and through miracles, through the undeniable truth that there is nowhere God is not. Creator is evident in everything we experience, in the miracle of breath, air moving through our lungs, in the birth of our children, in the quiet everyday moments where we are allowed to feel love and joy. And within that same field, in our memories, in our stories, in our love, in our grief, our spirit family is there too. Heaven is not necessarily some distant place far away from us. It might be right here, right beside us, in a world we cannot see with our eyes, but one we can feel when everything inside us becomes still and open. There are some beings and some people who seem to perceive more directly, who can see shapes, forms, and presences, perhaps through a different wiring, a different sensitivity, or intuitive muscles they have strengthened over time. But I believe this: all of us carry intuition. It is a gift and part of our framework. And if we practice it gently and daily, if we begin to notice, to document, and to trust and surrender, we may begin to discover that heaven is not separate from us, that it is all around us, and perhaps even woven into the very miracles we cannot explain or fully understand. Grief is one of the greatest spiritual teachers. It wakes us up, propels us to ask the hardest questions. Who am I? Is there a God? Who is God? Why did this happen? Where did they go? How can they be gone, and yet I feel them near? Or why was I spared? Grief can be the key that turns the door open. And in my case, I feel so grateful that I was already walking a spiritual path. that I was already in classes and spaces that could support me. Because one thing led to another, and now I find myself in a beautiful training in soul regression therapy, guided by incredible teachers. And through this work, I am experiencing more peace, insight, and a deeper connection to the divine realms, to my life purpose, and to my soul pod, my soul origin, that explains so much of my challenges and triumphs. I feel more relaxed than I have in a very long time. I know myself better. I can trust myself, and I can now just keep walking with surrender and more smiles, as if I have finally stepped into what I'm here to create. After so many years of turmoil, which, after all, they were part of my journey too. And they're important into how I am here to serve life. With my little one, with my family, and with this path that is unfolding every day, one day at a time. And somehow, even though part of my heart now lives in heaven, I feel complete because I know they are still with me. And that the separation is just a belief away. I still feel grief, sadness, loss, and emptiness. But those emotions are not something to run away from or to escape or suppress. I have been a very open griever, sharing when oftentimes it was uncomfortable for others. But I found it important to keep those feelings moving through in order to keep the healing moving forward. But not everyone is that way. Some of us are more private about our grieving, and that is also very okay. Those are just two distinct characteristics, but like the rainbow, we come in all the colors and textures. Grief sharing, then, has become my teacher. Experiences that move through me and teach me. I find strength in what my spirit family and grief itself have shown me. And I allow that strength to empower my path, to help me live a life of freedom, not just for me, but for them too. So they can witness, so they can rejoice through the life I am living. I am learning the biggest transformation from regrets and guilt. I can't say I have that one down still. It's a process for me, because still there are some deaths that are still pending for me to heal further. But the door has been opened and the process is happening. And I honestly can't wait to sit with my mentor and work through some loose ends that need some deep loving still. And most especially, I do this for my little one, so that he can grow up witnessing life rooted in compassion and understanding, in reverence for this tenderness of this human experience, how incredibly evanescent it is and special. Here in our home, my son already knows words like God, heaven, soul, soul origins, and prayer. We sing songs to them. We call them in every day. He sees the eyes of his great-grandparents looking at him from our walls and through this work. And I receive glimpses and insights into my soul's mission, the work that is ahead of me, why my spirit family crossed early, the agreements we made and why I'm still here. I will close this episode with some of the most profound words I have encountered so far in my soul studies. The soul is immortal, an intelligent energy of consciousness, manifested through waves, light and color, vibration and frequency. Souls gain wisdom through lifetimes and between lives, through complex and varied experiences. And that once a soul has achieved a high degree of wisdom, that soul may choose not to incarnate again, and instead serve as a guide or a teacher, for example, in the divine realms. The soul innately desires to grow and to evolve, and to move towards greater levels of wisdom. And it reveals that wisdom through its vibrational energy, gradually moving through the colors of the rainbow. Healing through our soul's work is sacred and profound. It releases us and leads us into transformation and evolution. Through our free will and our incarnation here on Earth School, we progress through the journey of the soul. And so, when we begin to see even just this much, we realize that life is far more complex, more mysterious, more profound than our ordinary experience suggests. And from that place, how can I claim to know it all? How can I hold so tightly to limited beliefs when there is so much more than meets the eye? So much more that spans across dimensions. And as we look around, we can feel that there are many changes happening on this planet. Many souls choosing to consciously depart their physical bodies. And in these moments, we are invited to shift our perspective, to move from seeing death as something final, something terminal, to understanding it as a continuation, a journey that never truly ends, because the soul is immortal. Energy cannot be destroyed. So while there is a physical transition into another state that we call death, for the soul, this is a moment of joy, of release, of freedom, of reunion with other aspects of itself. It is a time of liberation, reflection, and new beginnings, not a catastrophic end, but a sacred transition. And when we begin to truly embrace this, we allow ourselves to grieve, to honor, to feel the love, without needing to feel sorry for the one who has transitioned. Instead, we can come into acceptance, into trust, into allowing. We honor their journey. We thank them for the time we shared, and we bless them as they continue on into their next experience, knowing deep in our hearts that separation is only an illusion of the third dimensional mind, because in truth, we can meet them again. And beyond that, we can feel them with us now and connect with them on the inner planes at any time. And the bond we share with those we love can never be broken, not in this life, not beyond it, and not through eternity. Those we love deeply, we have known across many lifetimes. We have loved each other again and again across different roles, different stories, as families, as friends, as souls walking together through time. We have experienced this physical parting before, and we have found each other again and again and again. And from a soul perspective, every transition, no matter how it appears to the human eye, whether sudden, tragic, or unexpected, is part of a greater plan and design, a choice made at the level of the soul for growth, for learning, for the balancing of karma, and for the unfolding of its path. And for the soul who is departing, this is often a moment of excitement, a readiness, an openness to step into the next experience, the next adventure in this vast, mysterious, and eternal journey we call life. And beautiful soul, this is where I will lovingly pause for today. In part 2, we're going to open the space even wider. I'll be sharing the grief stories of others, real, tender human experiences, so you can feel how universal this journey truly is. We'll also explore more about signs, how they show up, how to recognize them, and how to trust what you're receiving. And we'll bring it all together with a closing reflection, a sense of integration, and a little surprise song from my heart to yours. So if this spoke to you, if you felt something open, meet me in part 2. I'll be right there with you. Much love. Namaste. Thank you for listening to the Empowered Soul podcast. If this episode touched your heart, I'd love for you to follow the show and share with someone you love. Stay connected with us on Instagram, explore our website and blog, visit our YouTube channel, and discover more soulful creations here. healtruelove.com/links. Until next time, keep blooming exactly as you are and who you are becoming.